Hey there guys, thanks for joining us on another board game night. Tonight we're playing Unearth from Brotherwise Games. And this is designed by Jason Harner and Matthew Ransom. And with me tonight, I have Molo, Mick, and Martin, and myself, Jason. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to give you an overview of Unearth, the game. So we'll go through a couple of basic rules and the setup, and then we'll basically end off the video with a gameplay section and our verdict at the end, because this is a retail copy, so we can say what we think. Alright, so to begin with, everyone gets handed out 2 Delver cards, which are these little cards that
special ability cards, basically.
Yep, and there's a stack of them there which we can gain more from. We also get given 1 Ruins card. These are the long tarot style cards, and these are the ones out there in play. This will dictate the length of the game, so there's 5 removed from the game, depending on how many people are playing. If there's only 2 people, you remove 10. And then right at the bottom, there's an end of era card. There's 5 in the game box, and you randomly choose one, and it'll do a different effect. Then we also have some wonders. So we have lesser and greater wonders, which are worth different points respectively. So lesser wonders are worth 2 and 4, between 2 and 4, and greater wonders are worth between 6 and 8. I'm just going over the components. I'll explain what they do in a sec. And then we have 4 random wonders. These come out depending on how many players there are. So there's 4 of us playing. We get 4 random wonders, named wonders come out. And then each of us get a pile of dice. We get 3d6, a d4, and a d8. And then we're ready to go. We determine a first player. Let's say Martin was the first player. On his turn, first thing he does is he can play in the Delver phase. He can play any number of his Delver cards. And these are the cards that basically modify dice, re-roll dice, etc, etc. Once he's played any number of cards, he then rolls the dice, chooses a ruin, rolls the dice, and if he, let's say I'm going to go for that one, and I'm using a d6, I roll the dice. If I roll,
wasted a 6 now.
I know, damn it. If I roll 1, 2, or 3, I get
you 6 and 8, are you?
I get to take one of the stone resources from the ruins. If there's no stone resources there, I take one randomly from the bag.
It's straight out of Minecraft, by the way.
Yeah, they look really close to Minecraft. Really cool, actually, in a way. On a 4, 5, or 6, they just add to this number. Yeah,
Not add to that number. That's a target. We're just adding to the overall value.
So in this case, if we can communally reach 11 or more, then we've excavated this ruin, because we're all little tribes in some sort of weird world where all the ruins have been destroyed by some sort of natural disaster, and we're now trying to excavate the ruins to bring glory back to our tribe. So in this situation, put that dice back there, could you? So in this situation, 6 and a 5 would be 11. So we've equaled that, or if we are greater, then we look at the highest number. So I've got a 6, Mick has got a 5. So I would win that ruin. I take the ruin to my tableau. It'll do for scoring later. And then we flip over a new one and we get our dice back.
But if I had rolled a 6 and still reached the target, but we were both tied,
D8 is more valuable.
D8 is more valuable.
And if you had a D8 on a 6 and he had a 6, does it go to the next dice? Yeah.
So the dice with the more faces is more valuable. So like Mick was saying, that D8 would have trumped my D6. Obviously the highest number is the one that trumps more. So D8s have a better chance of winning the ruin, but D4s have better chance of excavating the stones. And why you need the stones is, instead of...
You mentioned you get them on 1 to 4.
Yeah.
Well, basically 6 of them. If you can make a ring, you can then put a rune... sorry, what are they?
A wonder.
A wonder in the centre of it.
Like that. So if you can get one of all the same colour, you can get a greater wonder. If you do them different colours, you can get a lesser wonder. And the name wonders will tell you what they need. So for example, the Temple of Clarity needs 4 blue stones and then 2 of any colour. Once you build that 6, you take the wonder, stick it in the middle, and it'll be worth points depending on what the named wonder does. So for example, the Temple of Clarity generates you 1 point for every blue stone you have in the game. So to begin with, it's worth 4. And then the lesser and greater wonders are obviously randomly determined. Like I said earlier, 6 and 8, 2 and 4. And that is pretty much the game. That's all you do. Once you've done your excavation phase, pass it to the left. Once the ruins deck runs out, we go to scoring. You score points for sets of cards. So for example, if I've collected 3 green ruins, oh my god. three. I can't say it.
3 green ruins.
How about blue ones?
Yeah, I'll go with the blue
3
one.
blue ruins.
Oh, with 12 points. If you can get one of each colour, there's 5. You get.
And that's in addition as well. So if you've got one of each colour, you see it says plus 5 points there, so you can reuse essentially those. So if you add only 5 cards, it's actually 2 points for each card, so 10, plus another 5, which is quite nice.
And then this one is if you get 3 or more wonders built in your tableau, you get plus 5 points. And the person.
And that's not easy to do.
No, yeah, they're quite tricky because obviously we're fighting for the stones, we're fighting for the ruins, and the ruins deck can run out pretty quickly. This is a fast, quick game.
These all have to go as well. It's not just the deck.
Yeah. All the ruins have to be excavated, and then the end of era card will do something random. We'll see when it comes up. And that is that. There's no hand limit to the amount of Delver cards you can keep. And
you can play as many of them as you want.
There is a bit of kind of take that in those cards as well, isn't there? A little bit of dickage.
You can reroll other people's cards, numbers, and things like that. Yeah. If you run out of dice, because obviously you only got 5, once they're all on the wonders and you haven't the ruins and you haven't managed to get one back yet, you can then pick one up, re-roll it, and add it to the same area or a new one.
But also, if one of these is excavated and these are still on there, they are lost.
Yeah, they just go back,
in the bag.
Yeah, well, yeah, go back in the bag, but they're not gained by the players.
Yeah.
And there we go. So we're gonna start playing, and then we'll come back to you with a gameplay turn in a few seconds. All right, so this is the gameplay turn. We've had a few rounds. Mick is the first player, so we're going to start with him. I'll give you a quick heads up of what's happening. Mick has got almost a full circle done for his wander. He's picked up a few. Obviously, we all started with one card. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning. And then he's picked up two more rune cards. Martin has got a Greater Wonder and one rune card, is it, Martin?
Yeah.
One extra. I've got the Temple of Clarity and a Lesser Wonder.
What does it do?
Blue stones give me 1 point. And I've got 2 rune cards. Molo's, what is your temple called? Temple of Fate.
Temple of Fate, yeah.
Yeah, and he's all black. And a couple of runes.
He's all black. New Zealander.
So these are the wonders we have left. And it is now Mick's turn. So first thing he can do is he can play any Delver cards to adjust his dice rolls.
So, right, I'm going to do D4 on this one.
Okay, so as you said, you choose your dice, choose your rune, and roll.
3.
1, 2, 3, get a stone from it.
So I will take this one on.
Alright, so just to show the folks, you need 3 yellows, you definitely need 3 yellows for the Eternal Flame, and then 3 any other runes. And then when a rune that has no dice on is claimed, you may draw a Delver card. This worth is 1 point.
So basically, if that was claimed, I could get a Delver card.
And then we keep going around to Martin.
Okay, I'm going to... this is possibly stupid. Right, I'm going to give +2 to die already on a ruin.
So a die can never go over its maximum number and never under 1. So you're changing the 1 to a 3.
And I'm going to add 1, take 1 away. I'm going to roll on that one.
So that one's already on 12, and he needs 17
roll
more.
on my D8. Oh,
So you
Even
can
though
make...
there's no hex or cube
Bollocks!
on there, he still gets to draw one from the bag.
I'll make it a 3. I want to make it a 1.
So it matters that much. 9,
Right.
12, 13, 14... all down to... Yeah, it could make a difference. Our rolling is...
I'll make it a 1. Stupid D8.
4, 8, 13... Okay, so I'm going to go on this blue
Another bloody blue one.
island over
Every
here.
blue one I get, man, is 1 less point for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing the same to Molo. Every black I get, 1 less black for him. So I'm going with a D6 over there.
Stay the hell away from there.
Actually, I'm going to go with my... yeah, I'm going to go with D6. Screw it. Oh, just killed Molo's.
Was it on 2 or 3?
It was
2.
3.
This one goes there.
3.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was 3.
So I roll the 5, which does nothing.
8.
Why not?
8. I will also go there with my D6.
Roll
Here comes a
4.
2. Here comes
Roll
a 2.
4.
5.
That's it.
That's
Done.
enough.
Excuse me.
So who
Alright,
does
that's
Milo
lost.
get it?
Yeah, hold on, Mick, I just want to explain. So, because he's rolled a 5, he doesn't get the brick. So the brick will go back into the bag.
Good shot.
Nice.
Now we combine the 2 highest dice facing numbers, or all the highest dice facing
You
numbers.
compare, not
Yeah.
combine.
Yes. So 5 is a tie. So now we go to the next one.
No, neither of them have a dice.
Yeah.
Does it go to the active player?
I don't know. Hold on a second.
Blue as well.
That works out really well for you.
All right. So we had a quick check.
Me.
The fact
If
that you didn't get any. I mean,
let's say that was Molo's die, he would have won there because we tied over there. So it goes to the next highest, which would have been the D4. But as that is not Molo's die or my die, it's a non-breakable tie, which means we all get a Delver card, and this ruin is basically discarded.
Back to the box.
Yep. So that was not fun, Molo. I needed that one.
No, tell me about it.
I think it probably worked out best for you because you got a card.
Yeah, you were never going to win
And you
that.
were going to win anyway, yeah.
so now it's my go.
wouldn't-
Two
would-
from the.
Bag on there. Yep. Huh? Mm-mm. So this number tells you how many stones goes on there. Who was that? That just went.
Milo went. Right.
Yeah, Milo
it's back to
screwed
me.
everything
so that's
up.
how quick a turn can go.
Yeah.
What's our current? So 9, 10, 13. So I'm going to give 2 to a dice already on the ruin.
Does that make it?
So it's 11. So that's 15. So anything bar 1. Isn't
Oh, you just did it now, man. You said anything bar 1.
Well, you might have a +1, -1.
You can
Oh,
chip
God,
away
you
at that
can-
jinx, man. You got to stop.
Sod it. Why hex it? We're going to go where you can roll 2 dice.
So you can choose different ones if you want to, but obviously,
Doesn't matter,
you-
they'll all come back anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm rolling a
Well, you can't
D6 and a
fail.
D8. So
Let's just see if.
Oh, an 8 anyway.
So the 3 will get you a stone from the bag.
Oh, yeah, of course.
yeah. And then I need got an 8.
Which will obviously excavate this ruin.
So it may
So
go on the same or different. Oh, so hang on. Do you?
You choose
are you
before
supposed
you
to
roll,
choose? So
yeah.
I think it's fair to say you
Yeah.
chose that one to go on there, didn't you?
so you've won the ruin, which means you get your dice back,
Quite
and we
handsomely.
all get a card because we're
Thank
the
you.
losers.
Not a loser. Thank you.
We'll get our dice back. That gets to you, and a new card comes out with some new rocks on, please, sir.
Rocks on.
All right. Now goes to Martin.
There is no good choices. I think I'm going to roll my D4. And I'm going to put that on this 11 here. 4! Brilliant. Can't even get a bloody stone.
It's the worst number to roll on a D4. I'm going to go over there. 6. Goes on to Molo.
Alright, I am going to play Lost in the Ruins, reroll any one die already on a ruin, which will be my D4. Yep.
Man, I would have laughed if you got a 4 there. Did you get another black again? I love the fact that you showed, but no one could actually see. Look at this, just jammy, just drawing out black ones out of that bag.
Okay,
And now you get your actual dice.
so what have we got? We've got a 15 there with 6 on, 11 with 4. So that requires 7.
Come on, Molo, you can do this.
I'm going to add +2 to. Oh, it's already on the ruin. Damn it. Damn it. If I add +2 to that, can I get another token out the bag?
No.
Oh,
It's
man.
only when you roll it.
Yeah.
What kind of game is this? I will add
We should have a musical interlude here.
Yeah.
D6 onto the red one with my red bits all over it. And I'll also add the +2, why not?
Just on a ruin. Still the same.
Oh, yeah,
It's still the same card.
Didn't do that.
You
Didn't
roll
happen.
one anyway.
Yeah.
Just draw your black token out and just be done with it.
See, this is why we don't play with him. Damn it.
It's one of the
you don't.
catalogue of reasons.
I'm rolling.
Oh man.
You got a yellow.
I'm rolling on this one. Better done roll an 8 this time.
A 1 on a... Is that a D8 you just roll as well?
Yeah.
For goodness sake. 4, 5. Alright, I'm going to do an ancestral claim on that one. Roll a d6 and add 2 to it.
At least you get the die.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
He rolled a 1 in case
Giving
you
you a wonder, though.
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Didn't want the card, did I? Just wanted a wonder. I'll take a lesser wonder, please.
So literally just top one.
Thank you.
I want to show you what I've collected so far. This is the one I started with. And that's what I've got so far. Right, so my turn. What is this number up to? So it's 3 1s.
6, 11.
That's really funny. I think I'm going to go with a D4 on this blue one over here. 2. And I will take this yellow one. Add that over there.
You'll have to take his word for it. Excuse me. As his camera's covering it.
Yeah. So when you're building, just a note about these things, when you're building them, obviously you're trying to complete the flower, but you can build off in any direction. So for example, I've added the yellow one there, but the next one I add, I don't have to add there. I can add over there or anywhere else. So you just go and start a new column somewhere else. That's pretty much it. Go on then, Molo, what are you doing? Let's make this the last roll for the gameplay turn.
Last roll for the gameplay turn. I will add +2 to that d6 there. And then I shall roll my d8 on that one.
Here comes their 4.
Shout out. No, not quite a 4.
9. Well
9.
done.
Thank you.
So you're just giving Mick that purple one
Yes.
now.
Yeah,
That's what he's done.
pretty much.
Well done. Okay, so there's a gameplay turn. We've done 3 full rotations there. So you can see it moves pretty quick except when it gets to Molo's turn. So we'll be back once we finish with the game with our verdict. Alrighty, so this is the end of game and verdict for Unearth. So just to show who won, this is what the final boards look like. So in last place, and I just dropped something on the floor, is Mick with 25 points. Is that right, Mick?
24.
24 points.
Even worse than
Yeah. In third place was me with 30 points. I just couldn't get enough collections together. So I got a couple of really random ones. And then I managed to build 3 wonders, which is the bonus 5 points. But Mick stopped me from getting the bonus 5 for...
Well, everyone got the bonus bar me.
Yeah.
So I came third with 30, what did I say, 30 points. Second place was Martin with 32. And unbelievably, first place is Molo with 33.
And what's more annoying about that is he randomly drew like 5 points out of the bag with
Yeah.
a black token.
Just going randomly black. You got 10 points from his shrine just for randomly drawing black ones out of the top.
Oh, it caps at 8. Did you not know?
Alright, so we've just finished off the game. I would have showed you what we look like, but we got all our scoring stuff.
That's one on the floor.
Yeah.
One of the things.
So what do we think? Milo, you won. This is also the first time you played this tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first time I played it. I mean, it seemed like a solid enough little mini game. It was like any sort of smaller game. It has that thing. As long as it sneaks up on you, that's how you know it's worth going. And I always like sort of constructing something. Generally, the mechanics were quite solid. Yeah, I quite enjoyed the game.
Fair enough. How much would you rate it out of 10?
I think I'd give it a 7, maybe.
7? Yep. Is this something you would buy for yourself if you wanted a copy?
Potentially, but perhaps more out of the pretty than anything else. It does have some very nice art design on it.
Yeah, fair enough. How about you, Mick? You've played this before.
Yeah, and we found out how to play it with different rules. And there's
Well,
definitely...
correct as far as we're certain. Thick rules.
Yeah, and it definitely increased my enjoyment of the game mechanics. I feel like I had a laugh the last time, and I feel like I had a laugh this time, but I don't know if that's just because of the people playing with.
For our American friends, that means he had fun.
Yeah.
A single laugh. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely was better this time round. And it definitely felt like there was a little bit more control and that it was worth playing all the way through right to the end of the game, which not doing the rule right last time made the end of the game superfluous. So yeah, I think it was a better experience this time, even though I was last. But yeah.
Well, that's nothing unusual.
Yeah.
Dead last.
Right, but yeah, so yeah, I thought it was better this time round, and had I done this the first time, I probably would have enjoyed it more. I don't know enough to buy it, but definitely I would play it again, I think.
How much out of 10?
I would still probably just go 6.
6. Cool. All right, Mr. Martin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Obviously, high levels of random in there, which obviously can affect what you're doing. Getting those tokens is fine, but obviously you're not potentially winning the cards. And I did feel like my D8 never rolled above 2 ever, which is quite annoying. And
Hence the reason you managed to get so many freaking shrines.
I did. Certainly, I did it first. Some of these cards seem a bit swingy as well. Some are, I feel, rolling 2 dice and then you can choose different cards is much better than I'll add one or take one away and things like that. So I think the card's potentially a bit swingy too. And unfortunately, it's got one of my pet peeves in it, this game, in so much as it's got the differing point values for the same action thing. So, for example, I had 2 lesser wonders here, and they have a point range of 2 to 4 points. I got a 2 and a 3. If I'd got a 3 and a 4, I'd have actually won. I don't actually know what the tiebreaker is if I'd got a 3 and a 3, but I mean, you got a 4 and a 3 there.
Yeah.
And so if I'd have had your 4.1, I'd have won that game. And it just annoys me that you do this exactly the same action, put exactly the same effort in, and there can be a 2-point difference. I mean, when the scores are so close as well, it's very frustrating to have that kind of gap in there. And the greater ones are the same. I happen to luck out and get an 8-point greater wonder.
Well, I'm pretty sure the last game we played of this, if I had the same thing, if I had the greater wonder, my greater wonder was 6 and yours was 8. If I had an 8, I would have bypassed you. So same principle here. Yeah.
But it's the same thing, and I mean, and I guess in a way I kind of like the hidden VP, so you can't work out. But you've got that in this already in so much of these cards, so you can never be sure what people have got. So why not just have them greater wonders worth 8, lesser wonders worth 4, done, and then you could have the variable ones. It would just make things a lot cleaner, I think, and that I've put the same amount of effort in and got less out of it. I mean, it's all right. I don't know why everyone's going so mad over the artwork, to be honest. It looks okay, I suppose, but it does not a lot for me, I've got to be honest. But the art's fairly subjective, isn't it? So, but people have gone nuts about how nice it looks, but it's all right. Score-wise, I think, as Mick said, it was probably better than the first time we played it, and that was because... and regardless of what people said, I don't think the rules are particularly very well explained. There's still some things in there which aren't explained at all. And we've just gone, okay, most people have said this is how it works. For example, give -2, 21 die ready and ruin, or there's a +2 one as well. Nowhere does it say you actually turn the dice and it sits there, so still not 100% sure if it's a permanent thing or whether it's just to the end of the turn or what.
Yeah, because it says it can't go lower than 1 and higher than 6.
But nowhere does it say what the actual effect is.
When I read this for the first time, I wasn't sure if it actually just lasted for the turn. You know, you just get +2 for the turn and then it ends. Go back to, anyway. Yeah.
So there's still some ambiguities in the rules, and I think they probably need more examples as well, and perhaps a few clearer things on there, and that does slightly hamper things for me. I mean, game length, what was that, about half hour, 40 minutes, something like that, so it's not too bad, I suppose. But in terms of a score, I think I'm probably more in the 5.5 kind of range. I think it's okay, kind of averagey.
Yeah, so
slightly better than average, maybe, but not much.
I'm in a similar sort of vein. I mean, I didn't mind the game. I've played it a few times now, and every time I felt the same. It's just like, meh, it's all right. You know, I learn
this bit.
Yeah.
is the best part of the game, bar none, really.
Yeah, this is the part I was going to say is that I like the best as well. Just building your little wanders and trying to collect the things to match up with the wanders.
Getting bad dice rolls.
Yeah, but the dice rolls obviously affect your game heavily in terms of like, I'm trying, I need a 4+ to win this on a D8, and you roll a 1, that sort of thing, and you give it to the next person because of that action, which you had no real control over because it's just a dice roll. So that is, but this is a lighter game, so if you can play this game in a half an hour, which I think is feasible because we were filming and we played it in 40 minutes or so, and filming always takes longer with the way it works. So for me, that's the same sort of thing. I'm not overly bothered by the graphical design of it. It's kind of this Lego-y Minecraft look to it. It's okay. I find the game is also quite, I don't know.
Is it samey?
Yeah. It's I don't mind it. If I was at say Handycon or Tabletop Day, those type of places, and one of you guys said, let's play this, and I haven't got a game at the moment, I'd be like, yeah, fine, let's play it. It's only a quick game while we're waiting for another game. But I don't think I'd ever buy this. And I don't know. It's very like there's like 150, 200 games behind me on my shelf, and I'd play any one of those over this sort of thing. So for me, yeah, the game is, I think, around about a 6 out of 10 for me, because it's good, it's decent. You can play play it in a quick manner, and it's easy to teach to people. I mean, it's very simple mechanics. Literally, play a card, roll a dice, next person. So
the other thing that bugged me the first time more than anything, not so much this time because I did different tactics, and you can lessen my problem with it by changing your tactics, but was that you could put so much effort into a card, especially these 17s. You could have 3 to 4 dice on there, and someone comes along and just usurps it with 1 die. Not even, just
that's basically down to the dice rolls.
Only having to equal. I mean, if it was a higher dice roll, fine, but only having to equal you by having a better die. That bugged me a lot. Didn't so much this time because I avoided putting too many die on any individual card, but then is that right? The rule was making me not do what I want. I don't know. I suppose lots of rules do that, but
I think in this particular game we built a lot more wonders as well. I mean, all of us came close.
That's because we couldn't roll above bloody 3.
yeah.
I mean, there was a card here with 17 on it.
6
and
dice
there was 6 dice on it, and there was a 3, a 2, and bloody 4 1s. I mean, it was still nowhere near getting it.
Those dice got re-rolled so often as well.
They keep coming up ones. Yeah, so it's. I mean, I think you can tell from our tone is that it's not a.
Milo liked it.
Yeah, Milo liked it the most with the 7, and that's only because he won, because he never wins anything. But from us, I mean, it's not a bad game, and I think in a social environment where you may be playing with people you don't know, it's an easy game to play and teach. So there's that. Once you can understand the rules.
It's quite light as well, isn't it? I mean, there's not a lot of like strategic choices there. It's like, which card am I going for, which dice am I using, and that's basically
and hope for good luck. Hope
I roll what I want to roll.
Yeah. And that brings a little bit of enjoyment, is that the fact that person that you don't want to get their thing might ultimately fail, so it makes you laugh.
Yeah. There is sort of a little bit of take that in the cards, but it is very low level dickery as well. Nobody's going to get upset.
Yeah. There's no flipping the tail. You're more frustrated from your own dice rolls than from other people's cards. So yeah, I think 2 6s, a 5.5 and a 7. So make of it what you will. We thought it was okay. Other people love it. It's got very good reviews.
It's not a game I'd love. I can't see it. There's
no.
In that time bracket, I would much rather play Own My Goods Again, for example, which is similar, but there's much more choice involved, similar length game. But in this, it's just too low decisions really, and just luck of the draw.
It was more family weight game. Okay, well, we're gonna go play something else. Thanks for watching, and we'll try and beat Milo in the next game.